Well, good Wednesday evening, everyone. Todd Warren here on Facebook Live tonight with another update on what's ahead of us weather-wise. Obviously, tonight we're going to be spending a lot of time talking about the upcoming winter storm that is expected to impact our area this weekend. Also, obviously, Thursday looking dry. We'll give the details on that. I'll have the latest on the timing on the transition from rain to freezing rain that we expect to see across the area here moving forward. And also give you the latest on how much we've seen. Here off the top, I will tell you that it appears as if, at least with the monoblend, a little bit less, not much, but a little bit, and a little bit later as far as the timing of the onset. And I'll show you the details on that with Futurecast and the monoblend coming up. And, of course, how much details on that. After this is all over, we're going to get cold. So hopefully we avoid too many power outages with the cold coming. And then next week it looks like we settle down and try to get back to normal. Again, if you have a question or comment, feel free to ask away. If you're watching on the KTAL Now app, something that you could do on your smart TV via Roku, Apple TV, or Fire Stick. I do record this now. It is posted almost immediately after I'm done on the app, so if you want to watch it on the big screen there, and if you're watching on the app and you want to participate, I record this at 8:30 Monday through Thursday. So let's get to it, and we usually start off by saying hello to everybody. So first on board, as usual, is Brian. Hello, Brian. David and Idabelle, hello. Amanda, greetings, welcome. Christian, hello. No school Monday. I will be working this weekend, obviously, Christian, so we'll see about school Monday. I would bet that chances are no. Chris in Texarkana, happy Wednesday. You're quite welcome. Thanks for watching. Gary, hello. Rusty, good evening to you. Lewis, hello once again. Aaron in Wright City, hello. Mitch, you're quite welcome, Mitch. Thanks for tuning in. Brian, good evening to you. That's Brian, too. Kathy, I wish I could, Kathy. You're not going to like what you see coming up for the most part. All right, let's get to it. And Angela and Falk, hello. Well, you can see we did see the rain end this afternoon. Actually, the clouds temporarily decreased across the area just before sunset this evening. And we have seen a little bit of patchy fog. I noticed some trying to develop on the way in from dinner. This is the visibility product from the HRRR model. Shows that fog probably dissipating somewhat late tonight. And we could see a concentration over the south and northern sections of the area. And again, a little bit trying to form around Shreveport and Bossier City right now. So be mindful of that if you're out and about during the nighttime hours tonight. All right, let's get to what's left of the rain. Again, pinpoint Doppler shows that the scattered showers have pretty much left the area. Quick look on how much rain fell during the past 24 hours. And you can see anywhere there's green, that's at least a half an inch. I'm going to kind of click on a couple of these areas. Notice a couple of places getting more than an inch. But nonetheless, some more beneficial rain, which we could always use given the drought conditions that we have across the Arklatex right now. So today's rain, good news. Temperatures today, despite the rain in the clouds, we still made it to 57 in Shreveport, 56 in Texarkana, 57 also the high temperature today in Marshall. All right, so here's the what's going to be happening as we move forward. We have this big upper level low. Notice where this air is coming from, right off the North Pole, coming through Western Canada, and it's going to be barreling its way southward into the eastern half of the country here as we head into the weekend. At the same time, we have this upper level low, which is going to move to the south. It's going to create this southwesterly flow above us, which will create a layer of warm air above us, which will set the stage for mainly an ice event for our area, is what the majority of the models that go out far enough are showing. All right, so let's take a look through the next few days here as we put this into motion across the country. And you can see all the snows in the northeast. Rest of the country relatively quiet tomorrow. As we go through tomorrow night, we will see that frontal system stall to our south. And watch the area of low pressure get its act together here to the west of the Arklatex. Again, that is going to track into the northern Gulf. And you can see the precipitation breaking out ahead of it, as we'll see a little bit of overrunning here, which is going to provide some lift. And again, we'll start to see some rain over the northern sections of the area probably Friday, maybe as soon as early Friday morning. But then temperatures will begin to fall and we'll see a changeover. Everything shifts to the south as we move through Saturday, and we have plenty more rain, which will be moving, or freezing rain, I should say. I should just qualify it as saying precipitation. The pink on here is probably going to be freezing rain. Blue is snow. The greens and yellows and such are rain. All right, so this is kind of show you the scope of this winter storm, which is going to produce a lot of snow to the north of the Arklatex here. Probably heaviest in northern Arkansas. And as that lifts off to the north and east, we will see conditions improve on Sunday. All right, as far as possible impacts, as I mentioned earlier, it looks like, as of right now, the majority of models showing freezing rain. Yes, some sleet will be possible, but the majority of models showing it won't be much. Best chance of seeing that sleet, maybe a few flakes of snow over the northern edge of the area, will be Sunday morning as things wrap up. Obviously, is when we start to see temperatures dip below freezing, travel will become very hazardous, probably very quickly, Friday nights especially, into Saturday morning. Given how much freezing rain could fall, we could see some significant icing possible across the area. Again, I'll show you those numbers coming up, and that could lead to some power outages across the area, and then we get cold after that. All right, so let's see who else has chimed in here. Oops, let me zoom that back out. Make sure I cover everybody here. Rain for you, Matt. That's all it looks down that far south. Mary, good evening. Eric says 43 degrees now in his neck of the woods, west of the Arklatex. Noel, hi. Donnell, greetings to you. Gene, keep watching, man. I appreciate it. Kaylee, just be prepared. Just think, okay, what if worst case scenario, that's what you should prepare for in something like this, not necessarily as if it's going to happen. What if I were to lose power for 2 or 3 days? I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's a possibility. Am I ready for that? That's the mindset that I've taken to make sure that since I'm not going to be home, make sure everything is kind of as much close to normal as it possibly can be. Amanda, you're welcome. Drew, probably mainly freezing rain. Again, you'll have a better chance of seeing some sleet mixed in. Carrie, hello. Melissa, you're going to see the answer to that question here in a second. Depends on where you're talking about, Chris. South part of the area, probably okay. North of I-20, probably not so okay. Sean, I'll get to the answer on your part of the area here in a second. So let's do that. As we move forward here, I'll start Futurecast here at 6 a.m. And probably the best representation on how temperatures will change is coming from the model blend. So you can see here we are at 6 a.m. Friday morning. We're pretty much in the low to middle 40s over most of the area. Notice as the precip increases, temperatures drop into the mid 30s here by 5 p.m. Now these temperatures 2 or 3 degrees warmer than what they were last night when I showed you this graphic, but even 34, 35, we could have pockets where some freezing rain will be possible. So keep that in mind if you're maybe heading home Friday afternoon from work. Notice at that time we're still well above freezing in East Texas and Northwest Louisiana. Here it appears that we will dip below freezing probably after midnight. You might recall last night I mentioned 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Now it looks like 1, 2, 3 o'clock. So we've delayed things as far as the onset of the freezing rain based on the current model information, at least along the I-20 corridor. And it may hold off until Saturday morning before Manny and Natchitoches get down to freezing. And you can see a pretty good wave of heavier precipitation at that time Saturday morning. Notice the northern parts of the area in the upper teens to low 20s. And notice, too, that we're not going to rise much, if anything, during the day on Saturday, pretty much remaining fairly steady. So we'll see these waves of freezing rain continue to move across the area. Another pretty good wave moving across the Arklatex Saturday night. And you can see this latest run of Futurecast is a little bit slower and does show, again, the freezing rain continuing through Sunday morning. By noon, we would see it pretty much done, and it's probably Sunday morning if we have any frozen precipitation, be it sleet or snow. it would be Sunday morning is when we would see it. And again, it is possible we might see a little bit of snow over especially the northern half of McCurtain County, maybe severe Howard County, but we're not going to see a whole lot, and I'll show you the evidence of that here in a second. All right, as far as the latest on how much freezing rain, again, this is the blend of models. What that is, a lot of the other different models are kind of blended together, so you get everybody in a room which has a different opinion, and you basically blend those opinions together, and this is what you get. And you can see it's still showing a good half an inch to maybe 2/3 of an inch of freezing rain over northwest Louisiana, northeast Texas, and southwest Arkansas. Trend here with the model blend is that it has come down some. Yesterday, the peak numbers in this were closer to 3/4 of an inch. So you can see those numbers have come down just a little bit. But when you're talking about this much ice, you know, it doesn't make that much difference, because we start to see issues with power with as little as 1/4 of an inch of freezing rain accumulation on trees and power lines, especially trees. That's when they start seeing some issues. So that's the latest from the blend. Now, some of the other models are a bit heavier, and I'm going to try to pull some of these over here and show you those. This is the afternoon run of the European model, and I'm going to pull this over and make it big so you can see this. And you can see where it has 3/4 of an inch ice accumulation in Shreveport, an inch in Texarkana. Anywhere you're seeing these darker greens, that is an inch, and it could be more in spots. So that's the European. The Canadian model, it shows pretty much the same thing. There's that inch, maybe a little bit further to the south. The high-res version of the Canadian, which catches most of this event, again, only goes out to Saturday evening. Doesn't see it's showing just through Saturday evening, a half an inch to an inch. So again, the majority now, the GFS is the coldest of the models. It has everything further to the south and has some sleet mixed in. That is an outlier compared to what most of the other models are showing at the present time. So it looks like it's mainly going to be freezing rain. Here is, I mentioned the most likely numbers. I'd expect around a half an inch, but I also mentioned be prepared for that possibility. Worst case scenario, an inch to an inch and a half could occur anywhere in the Arklatex here. So that is the worst case scenario. And obviously things would be very similar to the ice storm of 2000 if we were to get that amount. I'm not saying it's going to happen. In fact, the chances of seeing the red numbers, 10%, according to the model blend. So again, that is just an outside shot of things getting that bad. All right, let's show you evidence of why I think it's going to be mainly freezing rain. Notice this is where Futurecast shows just a little bit of sleet, but not much. So we probably will see some sleet mixed in, especially, as I mentioned, on Sunday morning. And here's the snow outlook from Futurecast. And notice that it really doesn't show much, minus the northern sections of McCurtain County. So doubtful that we'll see much as far as snow. Probably we'll see a little bit of sleet mixed in, especially late in this event. Most of the impact will be caused by the freezing rain that we anticipate seeing across the area. So that's the latest on that. So Connie, I think I've answered your question. Expect about a half an inch of ice. Don't, it's not my responsibility to call a school, but if we do get that half an inch, Jordan, and if temperatures go as planned, probably not. I will just put it that way. Connie, as I mentioned, answered that. Let's see. Donnell, I think you asked that question last night, and really the wind will be strongest Friday night. We won't have as much ice then. Just looking at I have 15 miles per hour Friday and 10 to 15 Saturday. So it's going to be kind of breezy, but obviously any wind could aggravate things if we get all this ice that the model blend is indicating we could get. No freezing rain Thursday morning, Jordan. Pretty much dry tomorrow morning. Saturday morning. Here, anyway, in Shreveport is when our best chance of starting to see some impacts from that. And Josh, too, Christian. Dylan Mansfield, probably not as much. Again, you may hold off a little bit longer as far as and avoid the freezing aspect of things Friday night. You may hold off until very late Friday night into Saturday morning. So as a result of that, maybe a little bit less than than a half an inch, but still you're going to get some ice. Sarah, you're going to get, let's see, I don't think I have the snowfall aspect of things. Sarah's watching in Brooklyn, New York, and let's see if I do have 10-day snowfall in here. I do. So here we go, Sarah. Let me go ahead and play this and make it work for you. And I'll show, again, this will show us, actually, it's a good thing Sarah asked that question. So let me go ahead and show this on the national view. And I'll just click on some of these so you can see where the model blend is seeing some of the heavier rains. Oops, I grabbed the wrong button. Or heavier snows. Notice the amounts here in southern Missouri, northwest Arkansas. Sarah, up in your neck of the woods, you're probably looking at, there you go, heavy snow. And the model blend is, again, this is the next 10 days. So it's showing a good 18 inches possible, give or take several inches. So the heaviest snow is going to be to the north of the Arklatex if it plays out this way. So there you go. That's what, to answer your question there, Sarah. And again, just to go back to my level of concern, I would put it at 8, as really haven't seen a whole lot of change. I'm hopeful that the trend towards later and warmer continues. That's a new trend that has developed with especially the European today. So we'll see if it is only drops us into the teens one night. So that would be welcome news because concern would be that we get 100,000 power outages and then we dip into the teens for 3 nights and barely make it above freezing. Obviously, that could cause some issues. So that's probably the reason why I raised it to 8 today. Again, it's only Wednesday. One thing else I should say, it's only Wednesday. This is going to start Friday night. So we still could see some changes. So stay tuned for any changes that we do see. But if you watched my live updates last night and Monday night, you remember that what I just said really hasn't changed that much from what I was saying both yesterday and Monday night. So, and again, just I mentioned the cold. You can see the European ensembles only one night with temperatures in the teens, and that's 19 Sunday night, Monday morning. And they're also warmer during the day. That would be welcome news. The quicker we can get above freezing, the better off we'll be. So keep your fingers crossed this set of ensembles verifies. And one more thing to add here that I didn't really cover. Some models hinting at maybe a little bit of a brief window of another chance for some icing next Thursday night. Not really biting on that just yet, being it's so far away and so light, but it's something to keep an eye on. And you can see as we head into the first couple of days of February, we will try to get back to normal. Normal high being 59. That is where we should be by the time we begin February. And again, it looks like the GFS ensembles, again, the GFS much colder than all the other models. And obviously I had a typo when I quickly entered these right after weather during the 6 o'clock newscast. That probably is, I'm not going to look it up. But nonetheless, you can see the trend here. We dip down into the teens, so GFS running a little colder, probably somewhere in the middle. I'm keeping us in the middle teens in Shreveport. We very well could see some single digits in the usual spots up north. And then we will warm up, again, very similar numbers there between the two sets of ensembles as we enter the beginning of February. All right, 8:49, getting a little bit late for me. Let me take a final look at your comments. Are there going to be Ds? I don't know what that means, Cody. I am doing my best. It's actually not too bad here today, Gary. We're still in the 50s, as you can see. So that'll change. Ask me Monday, and we'll see. Glenda, mainly freezing rain, but you have a better chance of maybe seeing some sleet mixed in, especially Sunday morning, and maybe a flake or two of snow. Uh, Jordan, I can't predict when the power outages will occur. Just that they are possible. That's the only thing I can see. Let's see. I looked at that. I saw it was a 4.9, Gary. I looked at the map on our website on the earthquake page, and I'm glad you survived that okay. Are there D's tonight? I don't know what D's means, Cody. I know it's probably autocorrect on the spelling. I don't expect anything tonight. It's really going to start, really depending on where in Texas, tomorrow night. Even Dallas, probably tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. All right. Brian, that is a possibility. I probably will, since I will be here, so stay tuned for that. So let's take a look at the forecast before I wrap things up. And you can see that tonight temperatures will stay in the 40s over most of the area as the rain pretty much wrapped up. Might see a little bit of fog in a few spots. Back to the 50s tomorrow. Don't expect to see much as far as rain. And here are my numbers as far as the temperatures. You can see Saturday fairly steady, maybe a few degrees cooler late in the day. 18 Saturday night, stay below freezing Sunday, mid-teens Sunday night. We finally warm above freezing Monday, and we try to get back to normal by Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's the story, and you can see a little bit of a chance for something Thursday night and Friday of next week. So how bad will it be compared to 2021 and 2011? Pete, in terms of the cold, looking back at 2021, it won't be as cold afterwards. Again, we made it down to 1 above in Shreveport, and it won't last as long. I don't expect to see as much frozen precipitation accumulation. However, we will see more ice accumulation based on the current model information. This could approach the severity of ice that we saw with the ice storm in 2000 on Christmas Day. I mentioned that last night. It very well could turn out to be that severe, although the blend of models is not quite to that extreme yet, but some models indicate that it is a possibility. Well, that will pretty much do it for me tonight, folks. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and watching. And again, don't forget to stay dry tomorrow if we see any rain, although tomorrow is looking dry. Enjoy the 50s while you can, because once we start to cool off Friday, we're going to have to wait until the middle of next week to see those 50s return. So stay safe if you don't see me until this weekend, and if you don't have to travel this weekend, don't. We'll talk to you again tomorrow night. Until then, have a great Thursday.